was muted. Ah, there we go. So this is how we start a stream. I got it now. I got it. You can hear me now, right? You can hear me, right? Let me just wait. Let me just wait. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Storm. Hi, Robert. Andrew. Avi. Wait. Hello, everybody. I'm here. My mic wasn't even connecting to my OBS to the begin. So, you know, we're starting off spicy. I hope you're all doing well. And I hope you have the file that you just made with my sister earlier, because we have a challenge. Technical difficulties. Yeah, we have a challenge. So make sure you save your work, close Illustrator if that's still open, and make sure After Effects is open. Previously, with my sis, you made a still image of a hand with some hearts. And with me, we are going to animate those hands and those hearts, and we'll animate them merging into one. Ooh, ooh. It's gonna be fun. There's gonna be a simple animation for us to start with, but a challenge it shall be. A challenge it shall be. I'm gonna let you have a few seconds to get your file ready. Alana, hello Alana. Hello Alana. Okay, I'm here. I'm here. Hi Penny. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? I'll be ready. Let's go. So thank you, Wade. Check the chat down below. Wade's just popped a link. If you don't have your own file, or if you want to use the one that my sister made, grab that link there. I'll wait for you. Don't worry. I'll wait. Challenge crossover. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. I don't have a fan. Wait, I can use my ruler, can't I? Never seen before. Challenge crossover. The Stewart sisters. One does stuff. The other one moves stuff. The perfect marriage. Is that our tagline? Should that be like the intro? Okay, so open your After Effects if you please. Once you've opened it, what you're going to do is, on the left hand side, you've got your project window, and double click. No stripy hearts, you can absolutely use the file that you've just made. You don't have to use Sis's one, you can use your own, it all works just the same. Double tap or double left click inside the project window. Once you have, select your file. For me, that's this one. Where's this lactose intolerance come from? I call it magic. Oh, wait. Once you've double clicked and imported your Illustrator file, you'll see import kind and footage dimensions. So what we have to do is change that to, well, it might be on footage by default. We want merge layers. So pick composition, and we're going to pick document size. Once you've got that, press OK. Now we've got a little composition made from the Illustrator file that you had earlier. Also, before we get wobbling all the way in, let me make this a little bit bigger. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm excited. So we've got our composition file. We're just going to double click on it. There we go. So when we scrub the timeline, nothing happens because there's no animation, but that's okay. That's what we're going to do. The first thing we want to do is organize our files. So organization. Why are you not talking about food in the chat? Don't worry. There's a food one coming up tomorrow, maybe. So we've got our blue heart, we've got our pink heart, but we're going to work smarter because we've only got half an hour. So we're not going to do anything that's on the left-hand side. We're going to do the stuff on the right-hand side first. So I'm going to go through, I'm just going to find out what body parts belong to what. On the right hand, we're going to press Y, that's our anchor tool. Or if you don't want to use the shortcut, at the very top, underneath animation and effect, there's this little like camera looking image. Click on that, and that should bring up your anchor too. On the right hand, that's my hand, look, it's got a little tattoo. We're going to put that anchor right by the hand. That way, when we choose to rotate, it's going to rotate where we want it to rotate, rather than if it was over here, it would kind of do a weird thing. Wade just said the key is to add keyframes. Yeah, I heard you through the wall. I heard my sis talking about your puns. I heard all this pun talk. Now you're bringing the punny games here. not Squid Games, punny games. Okay, so we got the right hand. I'm also going to color it so I know which one's mine. Right hand and the right arm. Let me make all of these pink, actually. The blue, left hand and left arm, I'm going to turn them all blue. By you choosing to color code, it's going to make it quicker for you to work because you can see it by eye rather than having to take time to read. Hi, Annika, hi! And there's this hearts in the back. Ooh, we're going to make the hearts move too, but we'll get to that later. We don't need layer 1, that's just a leftover file. The background we do need, and this heart we do need. So the only thing we've done is moved our anchor to the right hand. We're going to move our anchor. Actually, we're not going to. I'm going to show you why. We first have to move the anchor for the other hand. Yeah, color codes. Yeah. Now, why, pray tell, Pixie? Why have you chosen not to move the anchor that you're talking about? Because we're going to connect both arms to the same controller. That way they're both going to move at the same time. So underneath background or in any blank space you can find, right mouse button and go to Null Object. So Null Object is pretty much just an empty space, but for us, we like to make it be our controller, all the organization. So I'm just going to drag it to the bottom. It doesn't really matter where you put it, but for my organization, I like to put it sort of near where it's going to work. You can call this what you like, but for ease of understanding, I'm going to call it arm driver. DRV is short for driver. We're going to select the left arm and the right arm. And over here, I had this called the pick whip. I had pick and mix. We're going to select this little snail slug. Yeah, it's called a pick whip. Just grab hold of the icon and drag it to our arm driver. But before we do, I'm just going to move my whole thing down a little bit. You don't actually have to do this. It's going to work wherever you choose to put it. But for me, I seem to want to put it here. So if that's what I want to do, I'll let the body do it. Okay, so we've got left arm, right arm. And we are going to connect it to the arm driver. There we go. So now, if we press P for position, position is P, we can select the right-hand side blue numbers and drag it up and down. Now, when I was selecting what was to be connected, I accidentally disconnected the hands. So let me go back and put them back. Use my pick whip on the right hand, pick whip on the left. And now, I want that pick whip side. I'm sure we could do this. We must be able to, right? You don't have to use it because it's optional. Wait, the door. Coming in here with all these puns. Are these lives available to watch later, said Yesmond? Yes, they are. They're on YouTube, so you'll be able to watch them back. I think you'll also be able to see them back on Behance as well, but they are also on our Adobe Live YouTube channel, so please go ahead and subscribe over there. That way you can stay up to date with the latest streams and watch back anything that you might have missed. Annika, the way. Okay, so we've done our job. We've got the stuff connected. We haven't moved the hearts or anything yet. We don't need to. The first thing we want to do is make the hands bounce. So here we are. We've got the hand. I want it to kind of pop. The reason why the hand goes down first is because you have anticipation. Now, we do tend to talk about animation stuff more so in another stream, but think about it like this. Before you jump, you have to bend down. That's the same with us chucking things. So before we throw this in the air, we go down to prepare, and then we go up. Wade is a villain. Not a villain! Can we like make a drawing of this and then animate it too? Okay, so let's click on the stopwatch. That's gonna make our keyframe. Keyframes are how we animate. So let's drag this down slightly. Don't worry about it moving fast or slow, we'll fix that later. And let's zoom in a little bit. I'm holding Alt and the middle mouse wheel to push in. Now it's taking a long time, so what I think is that this composition is too long. I'm gonna right click my composition and I'm gonna change it to be maybe 10 seconds. If that turns out to be too short, we'll make it longer later. I'm just gonna move the keyframe in to see it go down at a reasonable space. For those that have done animation with me before, I think you know what we're gonna do with the graph editor later. Maybe not too far down. And then we need it to go higher than it started. So let's select our first keyframe and paste this. Hold on, Valdir, you said maybe pick with weight to the pun values. Val, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for this. The quickest way to make sure that I go over the original point is to copy and paste. Wait, Robert, what do you mean? So I pasted my first frame and now I'm gonna push it up. So it's gonna go up and then it's gonna go back to normal. So I'm just gonna paste the first keyframe again because this is supposed to loop. Now it's kind of boring if the hand goes back at the exact same space. So let's paste another keyframe that's got the exact same position as the first. But we're gonna take this one and let it dip a little bit. So there's a little bit of recoil from it having gone up. Ah, nice. We're gonna time the hearts to the hand. And let's say in this section, the hearts get thrown up here, then they merge, and then another set of hearts come down. So let's copy and paste our last keyframe. Let's make it do that little boop to pretend like it's caught it. And paste our first keyframe again. Remember, in order to make something loop, the first keyframe and the last keyframe have to be the same. So I'm going to claim that this is the end of my loop. To fully hammer that in, with your indicator on your last keyframe, take a look underneath render queue. You'll notice that there's some numbers down there. So we're going to click on those numbers, we're going to copy it, right click our composition and paste it in duration. So that's a fast way to reset your composition based on what you're looking at. Okay, now I need to tweak this quite a bit, but to do that, I want the graph editor. Be chaotic, don't make them the same. No, it won't loop then. Everyone's gonna see where it loops. To make our calculations a little bit more interesting, let's separate the dimensions. So on your position, right click and click separate dimensions. Now there's X and Y. X goes side to side, but we're not using that. So we can turn off that stopwatch, makes it a little bit cleaner for us. We're gonna click on Y position and click the graph editor. Looks a little bit wild here. So we know from our other streams that in order to make this go slower, we need something to be longer. To make it faster, we need to be shorter. Becca said, oh, that's such a good tip for how to trim the composition. Thank you. All right, looks a bit wild. We're going to grab a keyframe and we're going to select the ease in and the ease out. Or for me, break tangents. That means that we can select what one does what individually. The only reason why I didn't select this one is because if we do, hold on, let me do it to this one. If we do, the other side is going to move and it doesn't give us as much control as we'd like. I must take a spoon off the mouth and begin learning. Oh, please, it's so much fun. There's so much you can do. Okay, so let's say I've got this one. So from where it is, I'm going to break the tangent on the first one. And if I pull it all the way to the side, I'm holding the right, wait, I'm holding shift. This makes it really long. Long means slow. So it means it's going to move slow. And as soon as it touches the other, well, as soon as it touches the bend, it's going to go to the next pose that we've done. We could do this in reverse, make the other side really long. That makes its starting position really short. And it goes straight away to the other one. I'm not moving quickly enough. I have to do it later. Penny, we got a little bit to do. I just want to make sure that we can get it all in. But I'm glad that you're on it, Penny. I'm glad that you're on it. But we've done these bits before. How do we make it shorter, Penny? And how do we make it longer? It's your quiz for the chat. So I've chosen that I want its position to move slowly to the next one. So I've made this longer. I don't mind where this is, that's fine. Let's say we do it again. We want this position to hold for longer, so we make the line longer. Or we want it to go up straight away, no problem. Let's make our original pose shorter. Short line is fast, long line is slow. That's right, Penny. Penny says short line equals fast. That's right. That's why it went straight away, because we had a short line and the short line is fast. I'm going to copy Penny. Wow. But you know what? It's okay to copy. It's okay. I kind of like that. I might move these closer together. To move your position, click and drag on your keyframe and move them over. You can make it longer. Remember, the longer this is, the slower it moves. Or we can put it further together. I think I might try it going a little bit further. You got as far as the pick whip, which was new to you. Woo, yes. Oh, I like that. Keep doing your pick whip, Penny. Keep picking that whip. Can we make a song? Hi, Silver. Welcome on in. We're doing Valentine's things. I'm just going to move this over. There we go. So now we've got our hand to start, our hand going up, and our hand going down. All we've done is move how quickly it happens by moving the frames closer together. So now I've got the hand coming back down. It doesn't seem really realistic that they'd fall so slowly. So to make it faster, we move the keyframes in closer together. Let's see what this looks like without us editing anything. Not bad, actually. Not bad at all. All right, let's move the next one in because it's far apart. It means the line's longer. It means it's slower. I kind of want to happen. Silver, how are you? How are you? Let's take a look at this. Yeah. I want this frame to hold for a bit. I want to see what it looks like. So let's select this keyframe. Remember, if we just grab it as is, it starts to move the other one. How do we make sure that it doesn't move the one before? We take a look down at our little lines down here and we go to the ease out, or the one on the far right, or break tangent for me. Now this time, when we move this, it doesn't matter what we do. You might ask, well, what happens if I pull this line up and over? Well, that's a fun thing. If your line is below your keyframe, it will stay where it is. It won't go too high or too low. It won't change position. If we make the line higher, it will pretend as if there was a keyframe up here. So it's going to overextend and come back. This is really useful for some animations. Sometimes you might want it to, instead of just going down, let's say it's my hand I'm animating. Let's say you didn't just want it to land flat, you wanted it to go further down, but you didn't want to mess with lots and lots of little squares in between your work. Well, all you have to do is bend the tangent beyond the keyframe. That way it will go down further without you having to add an extra key. My sis said, oh, I didn't know that one. Belvedere said, lovely. Silver said, fancy. I'm on my way to more work, but wanted to pop in and say hello. Thank you for popping in. You're tired? Oh, please make sure that you take it easy. I know you're working, but please take it easy. It's really important for the water and to look after yourself. Robert said, how do you know... Wait, Hawk... Oh, you're not talking to me, are you, Luppy? Do you know you can do... Wait, Robert, what'd you say? Used an add a keyframe? Adding a keyframe is... Ah, there we go. Let me make it a little bit wider so I can show you the difference. So it's going over there, but if it's the same, it just lands where it is. So it's useful to overextend your animation. I do want this to be soft. The only reason why it's slapping there is because we don't have it curve. We need that curve. So let us add another line. Let's break that tangent. Now it's going to go up, and we can do the same in reverse. Let's pull it further down. It's going to go over the top, then it's going to go under the top, and then eventually land back. Let me drag this out. Fix our line a bit. Not bad. Keep tweaking your work until you're comfortable. Nice. Storm said, yeah, we used to add a keyframe and smooth in between. Ah. Teaching you lot the way of the graph. Sometimes, especially when you're doing computer-based animation, where the computer is able to interpolate your animations for you, it's really handy if you kind of work with those features and functions, but we're kind of low on time. So I'm going to do the same to these. Here we go. I might not need this one here. Make sure that these two are indeed the same. There we go. Pull it over. Let's get rid of this. Hi, Milan. We're working with the clock here. I'm just pulling this timeline over because we're only going to 6:30. So we've got our hand going up and down. Let's get a little bit of after animation in there. We've got the right hand. We're going to open the arm driver because that will help us see. We're going to key. And when the hand goes down, or when the arm goes down, we can tilt the hand downwards. There we go. We got our keyframe. Tilt it down to prep. And chuck it up to throw. And then when we're ready, I'm just going to paste another keyframe in the middle for this. We can turn it back to our first keyframe. Ooh, I don't know that method. I'm intrigued. So now we've got this returning back to its normal state, and we can do the exact same thing that we did again with our graph editor. Just tweak what we want to be faster or slower. Just to make sure that you know how to do this to Storm's hand, instead of redoing the animation, which you totally can do, we're just going to duplicate this hand. We're going to flip its orientation. Before we flip its orientation, we're going to right click, do null, and place it underneath the right hand. Once we duplicate it, we're going to parent it to the null, and we're going to flip the null. There we go. That way its movement's going to be correct. Let's connect the null to the arm driver, and then the cool part, connect its hand to Storm's left hand, and let's hide ours. Hold on, that's not Storm's left hand. Oh, we done it the wrong way around. Ah, here we go, here we go. We gotta connect Storm's hand to my fake one. There we go. So now we've got two hand animations. Once you get to the heart, we've got 5 minutes. We can do this. What I might do is show you how to merge the hearts at the top. Let's say we've got our heart at the top here. We're going to pull this heart inwards. Let's say this is our middle. That's where we want the heart to be. Now we need it to merge the hearts. To do that, all we're going to do is make sure nothing is selected. Click on your shape tool at the very top. Robert said, cool, thank you. You're going to cover half of your heart, and with your pink heart selected, if you don't see this, click the toggle switch. click the middle pick whip and select the top one. And we're going to click the inverse button. What I'm going to do is I could totally do the same for the pink heart, what I did to the hand. But because all we did was move its base movement, I'm just going to paste that onto the blue heart. Let's look at its position. Make sure they're about the same. And move it inwards. Need about the same height, don't we? There we go. And I'm just going to make sure that this one's in the same line. Here we are. And I'm just going to move it out a little bit. So now, without even having to merge both of them, we've actually got both of the hearts moving in together. So now it looks like they've merged into one. Thank you for watching, guys. Stick around for the lovely Alana Flowers next.